she shows up at an event, and I am so grateful for her for that energy. She also is one of the most curious people I know, and that serves her very, very well. She's a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. She's also a plant-based wellness weight loss coach and has created her own business that accompanies her Juice Plus business in a very, very beautiful way. And she is really a lifelong learner. I've watched her embrace personal growth and a mindset growth that is absolutely incredible. And we talked about that the very first night of having a growth mindset. And she has done that so beautifully. And she's going to challenge you today because she challenges me all the time on this topic of social media. So I am so excited for all of us to put on that mindset growth hat and lean into what she has to share with us today, because she's going to help us all grow even more. Kindall.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I feel very honored that I get to share the stage with my mother-in-law and also my mom. She has been a public speaker ever since I was a little girl. I watched her get up on stage. She used to work in Creative Memories, and me as a little 3-year-old having no idea that she was public speaking, I would just wander up there, stand on stage, twirl while she's talking, and so I think she got that bug put into me at a very young age. And so when it comes to public speaking, I want to teach you guys a hack. Who gets nervous at the idea of public speaking or being on a Facebook Live? Oh yeah, I know, right? Sweaty armpits, sweaty hands, cockroaches in your tummy. It's just like, ooh, what am I gonna say? What if I mess up? So I want to teach you guys this really cool trick. As a coach, I love working with emotions and helping people figure out how to emotionally hack their own biological bodies. And so the cool thing about the emotion nervous and excited is that they actually have very similar responses in the body. Same chemical reaction. The only difference is that there's like Christmas morning excitement where you're like, yes! And then there's the other emotion of like, you're called to go speak on stage and you're like, no! You're predicting the future and you're thinking about it. It's just you can either be looking forward to it or you can be really nervous. And so here's the trick that I want to teach you guys. Next time you start to get really nervous about doing a Facebook Live or just getting in front of a room for hosting an event, this is the trick to do. Say to yourself, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. And then you keep saying it until actually your body will have a response and you will change into going from excited or from nervous to excited. So let's all do that together in this room. Everyone, on the count of 3, we're gonna say, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. One more time, even louder. I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. Woo! Okay, so we're going to get you guys all excited today about social media. I wanna help you all create a want to, a desire, an excitement for getting on social media, because I've been so honored to be in this business for 5 years now, and I've heard so many of y'all's stories in this room, and every single time I hear somebody speak, I'm like, I just want to put you in front of a camera. Like, people need to know about you, and they need to hear your story, but they won't if you're not getting online. And so what we're going to do today is we can talk about how most of the world's eyes and ears are tuned into social media. That's where so many people are looking. And the generation before us, they have shown us clearly that you can build a business face to face. But where are most people's faces today? They're right here. And what I found too is it's easier to get the younger generation to check their Instagram than it is to come to an event. So we're gonna still keep the principle, the heart of this company, which is to inspire healthy living around the world, but with the landscape for how to talk to people, how to connect to people, it's growing and it's changing. So if you want to learn how to speak this language, then you guys are in the right place. Who wants to learn to speak social media language? Lots of emojis, right? So most of my business is actually online, and I love working on Instagram. I love working on Facebook. But most of the time when I bring that up to people in this room, they go, ugh, I know I need to be on social media, but I also, as Amy said, am a weight loss coach. And so I get very similar responses to that too. Like, I know I need to lose 30 pounds and I need to eat more fruits and vegetables, but there's this resistance on both sides. And we know that we need to do something, but why don't we do it? And as Amy said, I get really curious. I'm like, why? Why are we doing something about this? And what I've learned too is that people, it's not that you guys are lazy or not disciplined. You guys are so smart and so capable, and you have so much motivation and desire. So it has nothing to do with that. So why? Why are we not maybe utilizing social media? And it comes down to this, fear. I'm so glad Wendy actually brought this up yesterday. I was like, yes, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And fear travels in a pack of three. There is fear of failure, fear of success, and then there's fear of the unknown. And so your brain is always trying to keep you safe. Your brain wants to protect you from running into fear of failure or success or the unknown. And the problem, though, about our brain is that sometimes it has a really hard time perceiving real threats from imaginary threats that we make up in our brain. And every day we have over 80,000 thoughts. But of those 80,000, 80% of them are negative. As Ashley Hudson was talking about yesterday, how are you talking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? What are the battles that you're running into? Well, they're mostly in our head. And so fear, unfortunately, when we start to think from this place, it starts to shut down our curiosity and our creativity, which no wonder when we hear, you gotta get on social media, it's like, no thank you, that's a threat. I might publicly embarrass myself on a live. You know, there's some really funny Instagram stories out there of that, it's great. But so curiosity and creativity, they get shut down because we're thinking from a part of our brain called the amygdala. And so I want to help you guys get out of that place. And what are the fears that might be holding you back on social media? Well, I'm too old to be posting. What if I do something embarrassing on a live? I don't like speaking in front of the camera. I don't know what to say. I don't like how I look on camera. I don't even know how to use the technology. So if you guys were at conference, you guys have heard Jason Dorsey talk about the different generations. You guys heard that? So I'm a millennial. I'm actually not tech savvy. I'm tech dependent. Yeah, actually Doug's more tech savvy than I am. So what am I afraid of? Well, I'm actually afraid of not having my GPS. You guys can laugh, but like my mom has gotten terrified phone calls from me when I was first learning how to drive, and I'm like, I'm lost, and I'm just sobbing into the phone. She's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in a cornfield. I don't know where I'm at. You know, I'm calling on the phone from the gas station. So I've been really lost. I hated the feeling. Who in this room can read a paper map? Oh my gosh. You all are like Indiana Jones to me. Just know that I feel so safe with you. So I have been so lost before. I hated the feeling, and so what I had to do is I had to keep stopping along the way at gas stations, fruit stands, pit stops, and I'm like, how do I get to the 85? Which way is north? I don't know where I'm going. And so they helped me find my way. And so I had guides who pointed me in the right direction, so I found my way home. And so I want to be your guide today. And we've heard a lot of that language talking about being a guide. And so I'm your guide. Hi. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these 5 fears. We're going to address them today because I really want to help you guys get into your head, challenge the fears, and actually work through them. So we're going to talk about, number 1, I just don't understand social media. I don't know how to use this technology. I don't like how I look on camera. I don't know what to say. And the last one I think is really good for who's using social media already in this room. I know a lot of you guys are. Great. We're also going to talk about I've been posting, but I'm not getting any of the responses that I want. And so what I really want to do is we're going to challenge these fears, and when we see them for what they are, we realize that fear is not allowed to control us. And what we want to do is get from the amygdala and get into the creative part of our brain, which is full of curiosity, which is the prefrontal cortex. Everyone put your hand over your forehead. This is your creative station right here. Okay, so this is where we're headed. So we're gonna first talk about fear of the unknown. So what is social media? And why is it such an important tool for my business? Why does it even matter? So I'm gonna take us back 25 years to a place where all of us can relate, because we have so many generations in this room. We have boomers, we have Gen X, millennials. We need to get more of the Gen Zs in here, you know, but we're working on it. So I'm gonna take us back to a place, to the early 2000s, to the mall. Okay, who remembers going to the mall? I love the mall. The mall is so much fun. Turn to your neighbor and tell them your favorite shop at the mall.
The photo booth.
Anyone want to give me a shout out? Whose favorite spot at the mall? Oh, you guys love to shop. This group loves to shop. Look at this. Everyone's going. So the mall had value for everyone. It was a wonderland. I mean, you guys are just all taught, even the men, you guys were like, oh yeah, Bass Pro Shop. That was a cool place. That was fun. So the mall had value for every single person, and it was all in one space. And when we went to the mall, there were the top 3 reasons that we were going to the mall. These are so important. They're going to come back up again and again and again. So we go for shopping, socializing, and entertainment. Say that with me. Shopping, socializing, and entertainment. Yes. And so we would go to the mall for those 3 reasons. And when I was growing up, I loved going to the mall. My mom would drive us 2 hours all the way from Newnan, Georgia to the Mall of Georgia. And I would get so excited about it because I knew I was gonna find so many cool things in this space. And I made one of the very best investments of my life in the 7th grade going to the mall. So I'm in the mall and I'm on my way to Bath and Body Works. And as I'm walking there, I pass one of the mall kiosks. You guys remember those, like the little pop-up? Yes, okay. So there's the kiosk, it's right out front. And this lady who's working the kiosk, she calls out to me about my hair. And she's like, honey, with hair like that, why is it up in a ponytail? And I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm in the 7th grade. So I walk over and she starts fixing my hair up. She pulls out a straightener, does my hair, demos it on me, and in 5 minutes, I've bought this very expensive hair straightener. And she told me, this is the big selling point, guys. She promised me that with my hair looking this good, I would absolutely get a boyfriend. Which, as a 7th grader with braces, was a very big selling point. So, I'm very grateful. I didn't get a boyfriend, but I did get the hair straightener. And so, what happened though, and actually I brought it with me just to prove to you guys, this thing still works. Wow. It was worth every penny. It was such a good investment. What'd you say, what brand is it? It's Cortex. Cortex. So if you guys would like a good straightener, yeah.
Wow.
That's a pretty old straightener right there. So what happened though was the ideal interaction between a guide, the kiosk worker, the shop owner, and a consumer. And so I was in the mall, and remember I'm shopping, socializing, and I'm looking for entertainment. I didn't go in with the mindset of like, I'm gonna buy a hair straightener today. I was just going to explore and look around. And the guide, the shop owner, she showed me that I had a problem I wasn't aware of. I didn't have a boyfriend. And so I wanted to learn more, and what was great though is she showed me, she communicated really clearly, she demoed this hair straightener on me, and she showed me the solution was in the hair straightener. And so I liked the results, I thought it looked so good and fabulous, and she asked for the sale, and I was a happy buyer. I walked away with buyer's delight. So what I want to talk about is the 2 types of archetypes in the mall that we see today. We have the consumer, which is most of the people who go to the mall, and then there is the guide. And if you guys have heard the guide's journey, the hero's journey, that's a really great talk that we've heard multiple times by Donald Miller. So this is very similar to that. So we have the consumer and got chopped off, but the consumer, the person is going to the mall and they're looking for solutions through shopping, socializing, and entertainment. And they're looking for things that will help them save money, effort, energy, time, and stress. And so that's what they're hoping to find. And the guide, the shop owner, they will show the consumer that they have a solution for them, that they can help them save money, effort, energy, time, and stress. And so while malls are no longer as popular as they once were, people are still shopping more than ever just online. And so I want to show you guys some global stats of online shopping because we just love research in this room. So I really want to just bring this to y'all's attention. From 2020, over $4 trillion was spent online. And then in 2024, there's a prediction of $7 trillion, so big jump. And then 2030 predicts $8.5 trillion. So, okay, let's just break it down. How much is just coming then from social media? TikTok coming in with $4 billion, Instagram with $50 billion, and then Facebook with $150 billion just from 2023. This is amazing. And people are still going onto the internet for the top 3 reasons. So we've gone from a virtual mall to we've gone from a real mall to a virtual mall, but people are still going online for the same things, for shopping and socializing and entertainment. Landscape has changed, the same reasons. And so because this is such a big deal, we really want to tap into what are people looking for? Why, that we're in this whole new era of information. We're actually in the age of information. That's what this generation, this time of life that we're in is called. And boomers, do you guys remember getting catalogs in the mail? Yeah, okay. So you guys used to get catalogs maybe you have to go to the library. You still get them?
I love catalogs.
I love this. So you're still getting catalogs in the mail, but think back to 20 years ago. The internet was still so rare, so new, and so you could either go to the library for research, you would get catalogs in the mail, you'd have a friend, a neighbor invite you over to a healthy living event to learn about something like Juice Plus. Well, in today's world though, people are no longer doing that quite the same. Where are we finding our information? Where are we going for solutions? We're now going to Google, YouTube, ChatGPT, Facebook reviews. I mean, who's gone onto their Facebook page and asked your friends for a solution? I just did that this past week. I'm like, tell me about Thrive Market, and I had Christy Klamer reached out and told me about it. And so we want to start thinking, why are people going online? What are they looking for that will help them save money, effort, energy, time, and stress? And so we need to be asking the question, what are people Googling? What keeps them up at night on their phone, desperately looking for answers? Who are their top Instagram influencers? That's a big one. Who are they trying to mimic? Who do they want to be like? What searches, if we looked into their web browser, what are they looking up? What are they trying to solve? Thankfully, I did not have to come up with this list on my own. I just asked ChatGPT, and this is what I got. And number 1, coming in as the very top Google search out there, the top one is health issues. People are trying to figure out how to fix colds and flus and headaches. Dr. Google, they're going online. Next is tech problems, financial advice, best ways to invest, tax deductions, how to save money, relationship advice. This is the big one. People are trying to figure out how to have healthier relationships with their children, with their mother and fathers, with their in-laws, outlaws. This is a big deal. Home and gardening, cooking and recipes, travel information, fitness, exercise, and the last one being mental health, anxiety, depression. Look, you guys, you can even find a date online.
That's
So
how
I
I
got
met
that
my
catch
husband.
right there. So let's make this personal now. I really want you guys to think back to a time when you were desperate and you were trying to find a solution. What were you once Googling? What kept you up at night? What were you so desperate to find an answer to? What did you want to help save you money, time, effort, energy, and stress? What was I'm gonna make this personal for me. What was I desperately looking for answers online at one point? This. How to lose weight. How to stop binge eating. How to stop obsessing over food. How to stop having dieting and restriction thinking. How to stop counting calories constantly in my head. How to just eat intuitively. How to get in tune with my hunger and fullness. I was absolutely desperate. It might not look like on the outside, but I was desperate on the inside. I had to figure this out. Thankfully, by this point, I had already found Juice Plus. And so I already knew that change was very possible on a cellular level. I had started taking it, and within 1 year, I had absolutely remarkable results with my body. Doctors told me that the eczema that was on my arms would be something I would just have for the rest of my life, and just after 1 year of taking Juice Plus, it was completely gone. Who else has had similar results with their skin? Oh, it's like night. It's amazing. It's amazing. I now have a regular visit with the restroom every single day. Can I get an amen for this? And also, no more yearly cold and flu. I tell people that all the time, and they're like, "You are a liar." And I'm like, I mean, that's just what's happening. That's what happens. And so I knew that with my certain situation going on, that supplements and behavior modifications could only take me so far. I was really looking for somebody to teach me how to have a mindset transformation. And so I went to the only place I knew. I went to YouTube. And I actually found an answer for my problem online. I found a nutritionist who was all the way in Boston, who was speaking specifically on this subject. And so she became my guide. And she helped me save money, effort, energy, time, and stress. And I started working with her, and I just absolutely am so grateful, because that became my next best investment in my late 20s, because she totally changed my mindset, which also changed the way my body and my health were happening. And the whole point I'm making here, guys, is that I found this nutritionist all the way in Boston online. And thank God she was doing what she was doing, because if she wasn't, I don't know what I would have done. I didn't know who to talk to about this or who to get help from. And so I'm so glad, because she showed up online. She was working her online shop. She was showing up as a guide. If she had just had a local practice, I wouldn't have found her. But because she was online, I found her. So I ask you guys again, what about you? Who needs to find you? Who's online desperately looking for something that you were once experiencing in your health, in your finances, in your relationships? What would people want to know that you think is so normal and common to your life now, but they would be desperate to know what you know? And so again, we're going to come back to this, because most likely your story has something to do with one of these 9. You know, especially with mental health. I think that's one area that people can really need help in. Actually, one of the biggest health concerns of today is not so much to do with heart or gut health. It actually has something to do more with up here. More than ever, people are experiencing loneliness. You know, we're so connected on social media, but people want relationships. They want more. And whenever I look out in this room of faces, I mean, I feel so honored. I get to stand up here and I get to look at all of you guys out here. I'm like, wow, we have the best room of people in here. We really do. You guys are some of the most kind-hearted, compassionate, real, authentic, just the best of the best people in the world in this room. And I would hate for something like fear of failure, fear of success, and fear of the unknown hold you guys back from putting yourselves out there for people who need to find you desperately, but they can't because you're not working your online shop. The other thing too that I have found that's amazing about Juice Plus, I spend a lot of time on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm looking at different copycats who are out there with social selling companies or with similar products to Juice Plus. And what we all know is that there is nothing that can compare with Juice Plus because we are simply the very best. It's just we need the world to actually know it. Yeah. They don't know it yet. They're still, I talk to friends all the time. My generation is very influenced by social media. And so Joe Rogan is a big one, and so often in conversations I'll be talking to somebody and I'm like, I work with Juice Plus. It's the most nutritional research product in the world. And they kind of look at me with this glassy look on their face, and then I'll just go, have you guys heard of Athletic Greens, Joe Rogan? And they're like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. And I'm like, we're better. And they look at me as if like, you're crazy. No, Joe Rogan is God. So therefore it is the best thing that's ever existed. And it's like, they just don't know. They just don't know. And so the other thing too is people are drawn to people, not to products at the end of the day. That's really the biggest takeaway that I'm learning is that, you know, Joe Rogan has put himself out there so much. He's so public. Who knows Joe Rogan? Even if you don't even listen to him, it's like, wow, everyone has heard at least his name. And so he's put himself out there. He speaks publicly. He's in front of the camera all the time. And people know the product because of him. And they want to buy it because it's Joe Rogan. The other thing that our company has said so often that I think we almost take to a fault is that we say, be the product of the product. And sometimes what I find that almost gets in the way of that is that you guys are not just a product though. You are so much more than a product. So instead of being the product of the product, be the guide. You guys have personalities and interests and stories. You have so much to offer to people, and if we're just posting product pictures all day, and we're not connecting with them on a heart level, we're missing out on something. The other thing that I've also learned, thank you, Kurt, for saying this quote. So the first time I ever came to boot camp 5 years ago, I remember distinctly Kurt saying this: the person with the microphone makes the most money. Absolutely. That's why I was so excited to say yes to this. I thought, this is magic. I'm going to make some money from this. So the person with the microphone makes the most money. I want to add to that statement, if I can be so bold. The person in front of the camera makes the most money. In today's world, this is where things are headed. Because really, it comes down who is getting the most eyes and the most ears on them on a consistent, regular basis. And when social media, you can literally wake up every single day and you can get hundreds of eyeballs on you and double the amount of ears on you through social media. So in 2023, I ran into a wall with my business. I kept having events and I was inviting people, and for some reason, I was just getting really unlucky and nobody would show up. But you know what they were all doing? They were all looking at my stories and my posts and everything on social media. So I'm like, okay, I'll go where the people are. If they're not coming to my events, I will go meet where they're at. And if they're looking on social media, I'll go there. Oh, let me go back. And so I fell in love with this statement of, if you can't move forward, move sideways. Figure out a new direction. And what I've found though is that it's so fulfilling and so much fun getting to be a guide. I love it. I absolutely love getting to be a guide. And something that I want to share with y'all too that's been very rewarding, and I would encourage you all to do this, is I keep on my phone a list of testimonials of different messages that I get back from people. Anytime somebody sends me an encouraging text message about my business, a Instagram response, any kind of encouragement that I can get, I have started a folder on my phone. And I want to read you one of them that I just got yesterday that It makes me want to cry. So, she says, "Hi there, not sure if you remember me, but I used to go to Rise Athletic Gym that you went to. I've seen so much of what you share with everyone on the platform, and I just want to say thank you for what you do. I've changed my entire outlook on food and working out, and much of it I owe to watching your content and seeing your progress. I feel the healthiest I've ever been with just daily movement, not restricting myself from food or overeating or overtraining. You are amazing and an inspiration. Thanks again for everything." And the funny thing is, I actually don't remember her, so don't tell her. But what I'm getting at, though, is I wouldn't have met this girl probably in the gym. I didn't even know that we even connected with each other. But then getting these messages and these encouragements, I'm realizing, like, there are so many people out there who are wanting to watch you. They want to know what's going on in your life. What are you doing? What are you up to? Why are you so happy all the time? And so what we're going to do is we're going to still take some more action on these fears, because I can still kind of see some of y'all are a little skeptical and a little nervous about this. And so let's tackle these last fears. We're going to talk about, I don't know how to use this technology. I don't like how I look on camera. I don't know what to say. And then bonus, I've been posting, but nothing is happening. Starting with, I don't know how to use this technology. Okay. Everyone who has said this, find you a guide who is a teenager who would be thrilled to make some money teaching you social media. I'm not kidding, you need to do this in person, okay? I have sat between Amy and Anita on a road trip. You guys know, teaching them how to make stories and post. And I'm so glad we were doing it in person, because I'm pretty sure if they were on their own doing this, they would have thrown their phones out the window. You need a guide. You need somebody who's going to be right there next to you, who can help you. Who took a typing course when you were in primary school? Okay, so just guys, how you guys learn to type like this, you're going to start learning how to type like this, all right? And it's very doable, though. It's very possible. And I want to teach you guys to only use just the basics. You don't need to worry about TikTok just yet. Just learn Facebook and Instagram, because those are the top two platforms for income. You want to learn how to do post, stories, and reels. And if you have no idea what I said, that's okay. You're going to get a guide, meet with them until you feel confident to post on your own. The other place that I love learning from is YouTube. I love YouTube so much. I actually was just talking to Deanna Christopherson about gardening, and I just learned how to plant sweet potatoes from a YouTube video. And she was talking about how she learned how to keep her plants from dying in the garden from YouTube as well. So YouTube is a fabulous resource. I go there at least once a week, and you guys can get so much education from that. Stick with the basics. We're going to do the how-to tutorials on technology, learn social media, just the basics for Facebook. You guys can totally do this. The other thing too is just practice, 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 practice. The more you practice, the quicker this habit and this behavior will start to become. You'll start to just naturally get into a flow with posting and connecting with people. And all the time people ask me, well, how long will I get results on social media? How long does it take? Well, it's the same as Juice Plus. It takes about 4 months to get the effects of posting consistently on social media. And if you guys only take Juice Plus 1 day out of the week, how great are the effects? So that's kind of the same too with posting. So you want to post at least 5 days a week. And remember, you guys are an online shop. And so shops that aren't open in the mall consistently, what does that tell you about them as a business? I don't want to trust them. I don't want to go to them. They're not open. So you guys posting, showing up online 5 days out of the week, tell people regularly, like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still working my business. I'm still doing this. I'm going to boot camps. Who wants to come with me? And the other thing too is practice over perfection. Oh man, if you guys could see my first post when I started, I'm actually, you probably have seen a typo in here at some point. I don't know if you have, but I am not great at spelling. And so I was going back, reading some of my old posts, you know, tons of typos, tons of, what'd you say?
Grammarly.
That, yeah, I need that. I need Grammarly and more. I need actually Amy, she's my best person for that. She'll tell me on YouTube videos I made where she's like, that's incorrect, this is wrong. I'm like, I've already uploaded it. But practice over perfection. And so really every single time you guys sit down to write a post, instead of thinking, oh, how many likes did I get? Did people like it? Did they tell me that they're gonna buy a product? Oh no. Instead of getting all caught up in that, just tell yourself, I'm so proud of myself today. I got onto social media. I did a post. Yay. Move on. Go to the next thing. Have fun for the rest of the day. Because the conversations that you are starting today, they're planting seeds. And so months down the road, I'm telling you, these conversations that are popping up for me now with people are from 6 months ago, starting and working on social media every 5 days out of the week. So these conversations will come back to you. Okay, I don't like how I look on camera. Just like Juice Plus makes you all look younger, so does great lighting. I mean, honestly, this is such a great fix. If you can just get a ring light standing in front of a mirror that has good lighting, a window. I mean, who do you want to interact with? Shady McGee on the left, or Susie Sunshine on the other side? She looks so bright and happy. So good lighting makes a huge difference. Camera angles. Just saying. We also can work on batch content. So every day that if you think that you need to sit down every single day and create a new post and create new pictures, it gets very exhausting. What I would recommend is really stockpiling your content. And what I like to do is pick one day out of the week, and I will get all kinds of videos for that day. I'll change outfits, my clothes are all over the house, Luke comes home and it's a mess, but I got all these videos and nobody knows that it's a different day. You can also repost old videos, that's great. I mean, content like from this weekend, oh, it's so good just to film, take pictures, start documenting your life. I think I picked up this habit. My mom actually has an album wall. We have so many pictures. So when I was growing up, at any given moment, she would pull out the camera and all of us kids would have to stop and smile and just freeze. But I'm so grateful though that she has this whole wall of our life documented all the way. And so anytime we want to go back and see where we've been, what have we been doing? I mean, right here, right now, you guys are writing your story, you're creating your process, your journey. And what's so fun is to be able to go back on social media and you can actually see your journey and go back. You guys are writing your stories. So I start building an archive, start collecting. This is actually this is my August DMO. This is how I do my social media planning. And so what I like to do is I like to work Monday through Friday. No, it's very tiny. Mondays are the days that I do batch content. And so that's the day that is right after Sunday. Typically on Sunday I do my hair. So Mondays, I like to do all of my content that day because I look fresh and still great from church. I like to do one reel per day, so I'll post 5 days out of the week. I also will make sure to actually be social on social media. That's a big one. You don't want to just post and ghost. You don't want to just put a post up and then be like, all right, good luck, I hope it works. You need to also be social with the people online as well, so make sure that you're commenting on people's posts. I like to do 10 comments per day, as well as just putting up 3 to 5 stories. And then you guys gotta take breaks. I like treating my business like a business. I like Monday through Friday working my shop, and then I'm off on the weekends. I love to play. I have a really fun, active husband, so we're gonna go play and do things. And if you are still struggling with how you look on camera, if you're like, I just don't feel good in front of the camera, check your mindset, because the way that you perceive yourself impacts your whole entire interaction with people. As a weight loss coach, it breaks my heart that so many of the women I work with have extremely negative perspectives about themselves. They can have lost all this weight, look absolutely, I mean, they looked gorgeous beforehand, but there's still this mindset that we get stuck in about who we are and how we view ourselves. And so 80% of your daily thoughts, remember, they're negative, but your thoughts are not facts. They're just opinions. You don't have to accept them. And also the other thing too is self-criticism has never inspired anyone into greatness. So the more you trash talk yourself, the more you beat yourself up in your head and you just, I don't look good, all those words that you say against yourself, you will start to feel like trash in front of the camera too. And I would highly recommend hiring a guide if your mental health is really just grinding, it just feels like it's not going in the direction you want. Hire somebody to help you work through that. Hire a guide like I did. It was so worth it. I'm so grateful. I think anyone in this room who has been extremely successful, they have a team of people who help them keeping their mind healthy. I love that Mitra Ray said that. I mean, the work we do, it's difficult. It's emotional. It's relational. So we got to keep this really healthy and clean. And then the other thing too is people connect with authenticity over perfection. And so my best, most interactive posts are typically the ones where I come home and I'm wearing a baseball hat, I'm sweaty from the gym, thankfully people can't smell you through the camera, and I am just being myself, being me, talking about the garden, talking about my dogs and doing life, and it's just, those are the ones that people interact with. Okay, I don't know what to say on camera. Oh, this one. All right, let's work through this. Okay, your words can inspire action, but we gotta work on how to craft what we're talking about. A lot of times people just talk at each other. This is what I'm finding is like somebody just says blah, 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 and then the other person's like blah, 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 and we can both be speaking blah, blah, but we're not actually connecting. And so instead of just talking without a plan, always sit down with your post and say, how does this post help people save money, effort, energy, time, or stress? That is the foundation for your post. How does this help people? Also, hire ChatGPT as your personal writing assistant. It's fantastic. I wrote my whole entire thing with ChatGPT. I just typed in and said, hey, write me. I didn't do that actually. But you can, which is crazy. ChatGPT really helps you out. I could have made my whole entire speech rhyme. I could have uploaded and said, make this sound like Dr. Seuss, and I could have just cat and hat you the whole entire way through this talk. But it's great because you can take whatever your topic is that you want to talk about, and you can go into ChatGPT, and I'll show you some examples later, where you can say, help me write 5 great hooks. People have the shortest attention spans on the planet. I mean, I probably already have lost half of y'all, just because the social media thing was brought up, and you're like, oh, I'm checking out, I don't want to listen to this. But you have got to keep people's attentions, because in 4 seconds, somebody's either going to scroll by it or just go on. Also, I have to give a big shout out to Doug Farrar for doing so many lives with me. So number 3 is collaborate and do lives with buddies. That has been so much fun. I used to hate doing lives. They made me sweaty and just icky feeling, and I just always wanted to shut my computer off, and I would get lost and kind of black out, and I'm like, what did I just say? And so lives with buddies are so much more fun. And pick one of those top 9 subjects. So do lives on either cooking or gardening or a hobby that you have. Make it something really interactive and fun that people want to watch. And then in the live, so naturally, Doug and I did a lot of recipes, and just while we were doing recipes, making food, we would obviously just come up with ways to bring Juice Plus in. Super authentic, not weird, talking about tower gardens, because we're gonna go out to the garden, we're gonna get some food, and then we're gonna chop it up and put it into our food, and it just was so interactive. And we had hundreds of people watching them. It was so cool. The other thing I want to say on this is if you are not using social media and you're like, this is just not my thing, but you're a leader and you want to help your team, Do lives with them. Be a third-party validation to their community by showing up on their live for them. That will just radically improve that live so much. That will reach so many people. Third-party validate them. Batch content you're writing. Okay, I'm posting, but it's not working. So for everyone who is already doing social media, you're already on here, I want to ask you some questions. The very first one is, are you posting just about the product? Are you? Are you just taking pictures of the product and just showing it all the time, but you're not getting any interaction? One thing I have learned about people is that you want to create curiosity in people. Just like you can't lead a horse to water, you can put salt in their mouth, right? And so instead of us always being tellers, we want to be curiosity creators. We want to get them to start thinking from their prefrontal cortex when they see our post. And so the way that we do that is by creating curiosity with hooks. And so instead of just saying, you need to take the Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules, you can say post like this. What if you said, I think vitamins are a scam? Ooh, click. Unpopular opinion alert. I believe fish oils cause more harm than good. What? I stopped taking vitamins when I learned about this one thing. My money-saving hack to getting vibrant health. I wish someone had told me earlier about this one health hack for families. The missing component to your gut health that got me unstuck. If I could go back in time to myself 5 years ago, I'd share this one health tip. You guys already take Juice Plus and you would click on this. You all would. You'd be like, what is this? What is this? The other thing I want to ask is, are you being too safe or too broad with your post? There's this really interesting paradox that Brené Brown talks about, where we want people to be vulnerable with us, but we won't be vulnerable with them. And so for us to start creating this authentic relationship with people online is we need to be the leaders and create the conversation, get the ball rolling, be the vulnerable one first, and what will end up happening is people will start to come to you and ask you questions. They want to get to know you. The other thing too is if you're being too broad, remember those top 9 health, or the top 9 most researched topics online, from health to recipes and travel and all those different things that people are looking for? What really helps you is if you pick a niche. And I know that there's like a little bit of, it feels kind of restrictive at times. I've been very resistant at times to doing the whole niche thing, but I will tell you guys, it's very freeing actually to find a niche and go with it. My niche is working with women who want to overcome binge eating and who want to have a plant-based lifestyle. And I want to shout out some other women who are doing a phenomenal job. If you don't know what a niche is, you will figure it out by going to their Instagram pages, and you will know the moment you get on their page that this content is either for you or it's not. Because Emily Otten, she's all about being a young mother and helping women get started at a young age with health and family. Jamie Kinsey is all about helping women in their 40s with health and fitness. Ashley Hudson is all about getting her health back and inspiring her children. She's all about empowering her family. And so you guys can find people online who are all about one topic, and guess what? They're attracting more of that sameness to them. And it just makes your life easier. Something I've learned too is that I want to go out and I want to save everyone in the world, but it's exhausting sometimes too. And I do so much better. I can connect so quickly with people who are on the same, that I have already walked in their journey, I've walked in their shoes, I've felt their pain. I can connect so quickly with somebody who's a binge eater. I already know their thoughts. I already know the things that they're feeling. And those are my people. I love those broken women. They're my people. So who are your people? Are you putting out content to attract the right audience? When it comes to attracting the right audience, your words really, really, really matter. If you keep attracting people who do not want to work their business, are you putting out content that talks about how much you hate work, or you don't like your job, or you don't want to work, or hey, come work with me, you never have to work again? And then they're like, great! And they get into this and they're like, I don't want to work. What are you fishing with? What are you putting out there? And two, this is the room, this is the place too. What I've also have learned too is you want to spend time with people who are going to help you build up your character, because the higher level of character that you have, the higher level of character you keep attracting. And that's why these boot camps are so phenomenal, because you get to spend time with people, hear their language, be around their energy, and realize, like, I want more people like Doug and Sharon Farrar, Jesse LePicky. Like, I want these people on my team. I wish I could have found you. Man, I'm looking for you. Okay. Last thing I want to say too before I get into this is it's totally great to hire a guide, and I can just vouch. I've done Kristen Voss's Social Selling Academy, so if you're like, I want more help with this, I need more guidance with this, she is a really great resource. I really have loved working through her social selling platform and teaching you how to do this. And I would be happy to talk to more people about this, because I think this is a really great resource that maybe we can tap into as well. I want to keep talking about social media, but time is running out. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe in the future we can do a boot camp just on social media.
Yes.
That might help. But I love getting to talk about this, and I want to say more. I could have written you guys like the longest. I wish I could have taught you how to make reels. I wish I could have taught you guys how to do Facebook Lives. I wish I could teach you every little step along the way. But we got to get home, and we got to go impact the world, and we have Monday coming. So I just want to empower you guys at the end of all this to just get online. You'll never feel ready enough to start doing this. You just won't. You just won't, but it's time. And people are looking for you. They want to find you. They want to connect with you. I promise you, they really do. There's nothing like this group of people going out there and sharing this message. And more than anything, the world needs you online. Imagine the collective voice. Imagine if Wendy Campbell was on social media. Like, I get chills thinking about it. She would break the internet. People wouldn't know what to do with her. But like, imagine that. Imagine more of us going out there, connecting online, being the influence for this next generation. And we can help build this to be a better place, build it with more young people. So the world needs you on social media. I want to help you guys get out there. Imagine the impact. I get chills. And so what I want to do right now is, who wants to win a ring light?
Woo!
I'm going to do a giveaway right now for a ring light.
Thank you, Kindall.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
I thought Stacey knew where was that bag.
All right, what should I grab? Pringle, Cola?